Back in January of this year, Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis received its first major update, adding the region of Redem, and fixing a lot of the problems that were present during its rocky release. Fast forward to 6 months later, and we get a brand new update, the Frozen Resolution patch, where players explore the snowy mountains of Kavaris, with some brand new enemies, sceneries, and another slew of quality of life improvements. This update further makes the release seem like dark ages gone by, even if there are still many issues afoot. First, let's address the elephant, or should I say mountain, in the room, which is Kavaris. The protagonist is requested by Crawford to go there because the central cannon that was recently used to subdue Dark Falls has been severely damaged. And in Kavaris lives a researcher named Ilma, who's very knowledgeable about the ins and outs of how the cannon works. You'll also get acquainted with Ilma's 4 brothers, all who have different personalities. The story does take a back seat compared to Redem, however, and I felt it was a bit too short, because immediately after saving Ilma and learning about how Kavaris was once the capital of Aelio, that's pretty much it. And I'm not alone in this, as many of my friends had the same "wait, that's it" sort of feeling, and were left yearning for more. And sure enough, the quest counter, which was also added as a way to replay past story quests, shows that there were way less quests and content in the Kavaris story quests compared to Redem. Though I want to say that more will be added in the future, it's hard to say. The level cap has now been raised to 60, and to complete the Kavaris story, a battle power of 2045 and higher is required, but leveling up and increasing your battle power has never been easier in recent memory, thanks to the addition of the new Battle Dia quests in Kavaris. If you time your farming well and obtain enough boosts, you're looking at upwards of 500,000 EXP per run, and that's not even counting the more than 50 side quests available in Kavaris, each giving upwards of 300,000 EXP by just collecting and exploring. These sorts of implementations are always welcome for those who aren't hardcore players like myself and just want to level up quickly. One of my favorite additions has to be the brand new throwing actions that were present during certain battles in the main story and quests. By breaking certain objects such as crystals, you can throw their shards into enemies and deal massive damage. Further, you can also damage certain structures around you and make them collapse, such as the icebergs around the cave in Lost Central. These make defeating large groups of enemies a lot easier and also help players who have yet to enhance or augment their weapons. Also, it is rather fun to deal 3000 damage just by throwing crystals around. Next is the addition of floating boards. Scattered across Kavaris are a series of points that will summon a snowboard that you can control for 60 seconds. In that short period of time, you can perform boosts, jumps, and even run over minerals to instantly obtain them. The mountainous parts of Kavaris are designed in such a way that using a snowboard is easier than gliding and jumping, and some minerals are even set out in a specific line so that you can easily pass through them. Even though the controls did feel a bit wonky, I think I'll put the blame on my own skill rather than the game. New competitive minigames have also been added, such as the track races, where multiple players can compete against each other in races, or you can do it solo and play a time attack mode and try and break your record. As you'd expect from a major update such as this, the Sekatil series and Evil Eclipse series of 6-star weapons, as well as the Kaisar series of 7-star weapons were added. And brand new enemies with unique mechanics have been added too. For those looking for an added challenge, among the newly added enemies is a class called Ancients. Much like the previously feared Gigantics, the Ancients scale their HP based on the amount of players in a given sector, but if you do manage to beat them, you'll earn Icicle Cubes. Remember the Kaisar series of weapons I mentioned previously? Yeah, by spending 60 of those cubes, you can obtain a Kaisar weapon of your own. Provided you have the actual time to grind, because those enemies are tough and take a while to beat. You can only fight them at Rajord Gorge, and if you don't have enough protection for its freezing temperatures, you'll be dead pretty soon, as the cold weather ticks away at your precious health. Exploring Kavaris was fun, but the biggest concern I have right now is what comes next? After all, as I've said previously, this is the last update that was teased in the roadmap last year. Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis has come a long way since its release, but it unfortunately will need a lot more endgame content to retain player activity. And I do hope they make yet another roadmap, so as to have complete transparency and to let players know that yes, the game is not over yet, and the story will continue. I'm excited to see what regions we will explore next. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to check out the full impressions piece at noisypixel.net. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all our future content.
Noisy Pixel.